Let's hear from the coach. This is Behind the Beard with Bobby Smirniotis, Forge FC head coach and sporting director. Now, the woman who takes us there, here's Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Okay, the first thing that I want to ask you about to start week 14 of Behind the Beard is this. How do you feel about having your face on a banner that's like probably bigger than your body?
Yeah. I guess my first question is who am I looking at?
Oh, I don't know. In this photo?
No, I mean.
Oh, in the picture on the
Yes.
banner. I don't know, but it's.
Am I happy?
It's like a smolder. Like.
Am I happy?
Is that the right word?
Sad?
I don't know, but this photo's really.
I'm really happy there.
I'll try and insert the photo in the video, but I love how you're just standing in front of. Yeah, it's good. How do you feel about the banner? It's new,
It's
no?
quite interesting. It's great, to be honest.
Yeah,
Whoever's made it's done an absolute fantastic job. We came out before last game, and Eddie's like, "Coach, look over there." I'm like, "What am I looking at?"
Yourself.
He's like, "You haven't seen it yet?" I'm like, "No, because I'm not paying attention. Obviously, getting ready for the game." And we had a good laugh, good chuckle on the bench.
I was like, Bobby? Maybe you could use it as like a curtain or something at home when the season's over. A bedspread.
You think my wife would be happy?
Did she see it? Did your kids see it too?
No, they didn't see it.
And they never will.
No, they will the next home game.
Will.
They will the next home game. They'll be.
But
here
it's
the next
not something that you're taking home with you after the season. Then.
No, I think it's for the supporters.
Okay.
I think
they can keep it
best
then.
with them.
Okay. First thing I want to ask you about, though, on a serious note, is last Saturday, because now you've had a couple days to reflect, and I guess how have you made adjustments during training? What are the changes that you've made based on the reflections that you made watching the film back and stuff?
Yeah, it's quite the interesting one, because when you watch everything back, it's for majority part of the game, the team is in control. We've been playing some excellent football. Sometimes when you come out of a game like that, you think it's a little bit maybe worse than it actually was. But there are moments where we just need to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you get, because in a game you score 3 goals, you expect to have a little bit better of a result from there. And the weekend rolls the way it rolls, and a couple of guys on top of us in the standing lose points. And we're literally sitting here now with 8-9 games left, and everything is really back to zero for everyone.
Yeah.
So, maybe it wasn't the best result for us. The way that the weekend turned out, it also wasn't the worst thing.
Yeah, so is that how you're feeling now, looking back, even like you now versus at the press conference? After watching it back, like you said, it just isn't as worse as it seemed immediately after?
Yeah, and I think worse is a bad word
no,
use.
okay, yeah.
As a coach and as players after games, you always have an emotional component. That's why talking to the team after the game is not something I do quite a bit of.
Mm-hmm.
It's also why sometimes you come in to do the press conference, which we're doing after the match, but you really sometimes as a coach you don't have a clear vision of the game. You're coming out of it 5-10 minutes later.
Yeah.
You may say things were great when they weren't. You may say things were a disaster and they weren't. And that's part of also my mentality and my personality. I'm pretty even keel, and I probably will give a joke or smile a few more times when the result hasn't gone our way.
Yeah.
And I'm not as happy sometimes when the result goes our way.
Yeah. It's definitely neutral.
You just got to keep a balance, and it's the same thing in the week. We get out here to train. We're not going to reinvent the wheel after we've won a few games, and we shouldn't reinvent the wheel after we've had one bad result.
Mm-hmm. Something else that you mentioned in the press conference, just about how the game went. Ali uncharacteristically turned it over, and that's how you said it kind of randomly got away from you. Just in a general sense, I wanted to ask how you go about those situations and how you coach a player who has talent and you have confidence in, but experiences those situations where maybe it is a costly outcome.
Yeah, when it's something that's random, it's hard to control. It's hard to coach, and it's hard for a player also to repeat it. It's hard to win the lottery. That's a random thing, right? And when it happens, it's it's something that's totally different. Try winning the lottery twice. So what you try and do is you try and keep those random moments On the flip side, because I
Yeah.
think we'd all like maybe to win the lottery.
Of course.
Once or twice. 3 times. But on the flip side is you try and reduce that randomness in the game and, the decision making. And a lot of times that can only come from there being a fault somewhere. I always say it through the development of a player. You start at a young age and you make 20, 30 mistakes a game because everyone makes mistakes. And then as you keep on getting older, all you're trying to do is minimize the errors in a game. So that when you're a pro, those errors are maybe 5 or 6 in a game because everyone makes a bad pass. Everyone will lose a ball on the dribble. Everyone will take a shot that goes wide.
Yeah.
There's no perfect, right? If you really look at it, you can win a game 5-0, but that 5-0 doesn't have perfection. There's always something that's going on, and what you try and do is just minimize the errors, and that only comes from time and experiencing things. Sometimes that's gonna hurt you as a team, but sometimes it's gonna keep on benefiting you as you go forward.
You mentioned a little bit earlier that afterwards, doing a press conference isn't the easiest thing because you kind of have a clouded vision of what the game was. What are some of the questions that you find are the most difficult to answer? Because as somebody asking the questions, I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have asked that, Mackenzie. What are the good ones? What are the ones you want to hear?
Yeah, and it's not that it's difficult because you have to answer questions you don't want to. It's just, do you really have a clear idea of what's happened in the game, 10, 15 minutes later? Maybe you asking the questions have seen 5 replays on something.
Exactly.
We haven't yet and so on. And I think that's just sometimes the
hardest
difficult to
part.
be able to give, a real, true review on what's happened to everyone who wants to know our opinion as coaches. I always try and be as honest as possible. So I think that's the difficult part. It's not so much what the questions are and so on, because that's actually an enjoyable part of the job. That's, somebody wanting information and to put information out there about our team and what's going on. And I think that's what we have to always embrace in this game. Otherwise, we're 22 players and a bunch of coaches just out there on the field kicking a ball. What makes it interesting is the 7,000 fans we have at Tim Hortons Field, all our supporters who are following back at home on One Soccer or any social media platform. And then everyone wants a little bit of information, so that's the important part of it.
Yeah, they're standing out there in the rain, so, it's I guess we got to tell them what's going on.
They had to run pretty quick at one point. But,
oh, my gosh, it was
pouring. Great to see them come right back in.
Yeah, seriously. They were, because honestly, at first, I was like, are they leaving? No, everyone stayed. They were just underneath the concourse. But, I thought it was funny when Charlie asked kind of what had happened. You said, have you been to the circus?
There you go. You remember that.
So you're cracking jokes. That's the thing. Yeah, I think it definitely is appreciated from a media standpoint.
Well, you have to be honest. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay, looking ahead to this weekend, you've got a matchup against Halifax on Saturday. What are you expecting to see from them? Obviously, they've had a decent run of form over these past couple of weeks and more recently as well.
Yeah, I think when you look at it overall, there's 8 games to go. So we really have to put it into a context of playoffs. And you have 8 individual games. Right now, everything is split by 2 points either way. So in many ways, you could say everyone's at 0. Because one game and 3 points makes a big difference. There's big swings that can happen on a weekly basis. So we can't be thinking about right now positioning or who's doing what. What we really have to focus on is saying, this one game in front of us gives us a great opportunity to be in a better position the following day or the minute that the game finishes. So then that you go and get prepared for the next one. And that's the only thing we need to look at. And each and every team, Halifax included, they've shown a roller coaster in the season. That's why the league is where it is right now.
We've had this
conversation
100%.
It's not because somebody's been playing the most brilliant football, but nobody's been playing also not brilliant football. It's been very competitive. Teams are dropping points, and different parts of the season are going through, hills and valleys, as they say.
Ebbs and flows, if
Ebbs
you will.
and flows. There you go. I have to put that in my
put that one in the vocab.
Haven't used that one. I have to put it next to circus.
Yeah.
Okay, just letting it register inside here. But yeah, they're a quality club. We know that they're going to come here and they've played some of their best football and some of their best defensive games against us this year, both here at Tim Hortons Field and Halifax. And we expect the same. It's a new team with some veteran players from the years. They're close in the battle, and for a team like them, these are very, very exciting times, and I think that's what it is for a lot of the clubs. We need to go out there and do our thing and reduce the random component of the game.
Right. Now, looking at the league overall from a more neutral standpoint, do you feel like now that there is so much, the standings are so close, I should say, and like you said, almost every team has gone through this like progression of ebbing and flowing. What does that do for the league? Because it's so close, and like you said, within such a
I
close
think
point.
for the general supporter, it makes it very exciting.
Yeah.
I think if you pick each coach around the league, they'd like for their team to be a little bit further ahead than where they are now. But I think for the supporters, for those following the league, I think it's a great thing. It's a fantastic thing. The league's gone to the new playoff format, which gets 5 teams in, and it gives more life to everyone. Even some of the teams that are currently maybe a little bit further behind, there's still time to make up and do things. And I think that makes each weekend of games more exciting than the previous one.
Yeah. Okay, this Saturday, just to go back to that, the theme is our signature match. Yes. So I stole a few of your pens because we're doing a signature session. I need help.
You're giving me your signature?
No, you're giving me yours, actually. Then I'm going to sell it. No. Okay, first things first.
Yes.
Show us how it's done, please. You can drop the mic. Are you confident in your signature abilities? I'm going to take that sigh as a yes.
Because I'm not. How many times am I doing it?
Just do it once.
Big? All the way across?
Do it relatively big, but don't fill the whole thing. Wow! No way!
You don't see it?
What is that? That is a scribble.
How's that a scribble?
I don't know. That's the B. Wait, so is this just like BS?
BS, line across for the T and the 2 I's.
Show the camera, please.
Corey, you don't see it?
You don't see it. You're just trying to be nice. You don't see it.
I see the B. I see the B and I see the S.
There's the B. There's the S. You come across with a T and the 2 I's.
Okay.
The rest is scribble.
So, no, don't ask me.
Cursive?
Yeah.
Can you write?
I can write cursive, but this is not even cursive.
This is like what the doctors would use.
Right. Yeah. They're signing off a medication.
Yes.
They're just like.
There you go.
So what makes? Thanks. What makes a good signature? Because mine is like MB, and then I normally just do the rest of my last name, like Barwell.
Come on.
I know. Okay. So just.
I think it needs to be unique.
Yeah.
And different. So when you look at it, you gotta guess.
That I could probably. You could forge. No pun intended. You could forge that so easily.
Try. No, yours first.
Oh gosh. Wait, should I do it like the normal way, or should I do it the way that you? Okay.
No. Your way.
Rate it.
We'll
I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really nervous.
So let's see yours.
So it's like M and then Barwell, but this is supposedly cursive.
Am I allowed to write on this?
Yeah. Are you forging it?
There it is. No?
Okay, no, that's actually pretty good. Is that where you're suggesting I change it to, or is that just your best replication?
No, I mean I can give you a suggestion.
Yeah. Okay, so the next stage of this process.
Well, you have to try mine.
Fine.
Is that what we're doing here?
Oh, it's gonna be so easy. I just draw a line.
Kenzie, it's not like we have to watch video or anything, and we got things going on. Just play signature games.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone can hear what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know. Keep the mic. Okay.
Right here. There you go. I got the 2 eyes. Huh?
You guys are just eating this up, aren't you? Okay, so if anybody wants a fake Bobby Smyrnio's signature,
Just see Mackenzie.
please see me, and we can maybe make it a side hustle or something. Okay, before we finish, if you had my name, what does it look like?
See, I made a B.
Wow, so that's just your go-to.
So here we go, MB,
Yeah.
because we can use it as one.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to the
Is
double.
that Should I just do MB? Like, no.
There we go. M and B together. There's your W with everything else. And the L.
There's 2 L's.
What? Take a second one. Complete. That's a wrap, no?
I'm just gonna practice and then we'll finish. Okay.
I think I just did a B like mine just naturally came
Yeah.
out.
So we're just going.
Shit, like it's like a M B. Huh? Show them the original. Show them the original. Who would you want to do business with? This one or that one? I think the answer is clear.
Please comment down below.
That's a wrap.
This has been Behind the Beard with Mackenzie Barwell and Bobby Smirniotis. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.